Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Welcome sa Kabuhayan at Negosyo. Ang programang nagbibigay ng inspirasyon at kaalaman sa mundo ng pagninegosyo at kabuhayan. Ngayong araw po, makikilala natin ang isang Pilipinong negosyante at medical professional na nagdala ng makabagong solusyon para sa may mga problema sa pagtulog. Isang global sleep care expert na nagpapalawak ng kanyang mga kumpanya dito sa Pilipinas at sa iba't ibang bansa. Siya po ang founder ng Global Sleep Group at presidente at CEO ng CPAP and Sleep Disorder Clinic. Ang taong nagpatunay na ang pagsisikap, tamang kaalaman at tapang sa pagninegosyo ay maaring maghatid ng international na tagumpay. Mga kanegosyo, mga ka-intrip, i-welcome natin si Mr. Chris Albert Salombides. Welcome po sa Kabuhayan at Negosyo.
Sobrang maraming salamat, Sir Gani. Thank you for inviting me dito sa Kabuhayan and Negosyo. Yes, I'm really glad that I'm here right now, and yeah, let's get started so we can para ano ba yung mga question natin.
Opo. Alam mo, Chris, nakita ko yung journey mo sa pagninegosyo ay talagang kahanga-hanga. Pero
maraming salamat.
Siguro sa mga taga-subaybay natin, mga natin dito, mga kanegosyo natin, ay gusto kong malaman nila kung sino ba si Chris, para po makilala nila at itong naging negosyo mo.
So yeah, Sir Gani. I started the business when I moved to Canada.
Okay.
Pero when I was little, lumaki ko sa Pantabangan, Nueva Ecija.
Okay. Taga Nueva Ecija kayo?
Nueva Ecija. And then, kala ko kasi, dati talaga, I thought that, mahirap kami. Nung nakita ko yung buhay sa Maynila, and nakita ko talaga yung, the people are not eating like even thrice, 3 times a day, only once a day. And then, nakumpara ko, na hindi pala ganun kahirap yung buhay namin. But I still kasi nung time na yon, when I grew up in Nueva Ecija, then I transferred to Baguio during college.
Ano ka nagtapos? So ano yung naging baccalaureate degree mo sa Baguio?
Respiratory therapist.
Okay.
Respiratory therapist. Pero balik tayo nun sa Nueva Ecija days ko, nung bata ako kasi I like to sell things. Like, nagbebenta ako ng pandesal.
Oh.
Nagbebenta ako
so very enterprising ka nung bata ka pa lang.
I'm very competitive basta sa bentahan. I'm selling like ice candy sa school. Nagbebenta rin ako ng balot, 'di ba, sa gabi. And then I saved that money, and then alam mo yun, pag medyo nagigipit yung parents ko, I was able to give them something kasi may nasisave ako. So during college is ganun din ang ginawa ko, parang during pag may mga time na mahilig ako magbenta. Yun lang.
So background mo talaga na very enterprising yung na naging journey mo sa buhay.
O para kasi ang feeling ko, pag marunong ka magbenta, tsaka pag marunong ka mag-market, parang hindi ka magugutom. So yun yung parang naging skills ko. And then during summer break ng college, I was, I'm working as naghihila kami ng kable or nagta-truck driving ako.
Wow.
Under dun sa pinagtatrabahuhan ng dad ko sa project. So then I realized that nakita ko talaga yung Sir Gani, yung separation na pag ang wealthy people is like iba talaga yung mundo nila. And then tayo mga middle class before is nakita ko na there's a separation talaga, no. So I keep dreaming na I'm ambitious kasi, sobrang ambisyoso talaga ako. So nung nagkaroon ng opportunity na magpunta kami ng Canada after working here for a few years, so we moved there.
Bali, ano yung unang naging trabaho mo sa Pilipinas na masasabi mo talaga na trabaho?
So, good question because nagtrabaho ko as a medical representative.
Okay.
Pero it was a failed, I would say it's failed because hindi ako ganun ka-professional pagdating sa bentahan. Hindi ko kumbaga kinakapa ko pa siya dati noon. So I just realized that I think mas better siguro kung ipapractice ko na lang yung pagiging respiratory therapist natin, di ba? So yun, nakapasok tayo sa ospital, and then after a year, yun na, naging journey natin. Umalis na tayo. Going to Canada.
So sinubukan mo yung magtrabaho ka sa Canada?
Yes, kasi with my family. So pumunta kami ron, and then And then that's the journey that I started. Pero pagdating ko ron is hindi ako RT. So I started like odd jobs like nagtatanggal kami ng signage, yung mga signage sa street, yung sa boom, sumasakay ako ron, then we're basically removing the signage. And then kasi it's really hard for me to get the respiratory therapy program. And then while I'm doing that, I'm studying, as a respiratory therapist. And then I was able to get my degree again. And then working there as a respiratory therapist, I said like I want to specialize in something. Doon na pumasok sa isip ko, I did more research about sleep. I become more interested sa sleep. And very fortunate that the hospital give me an opportunity to work with them, government hospital, and they sending me to United States to take my specialty, yung pagiging sleep technologist.
Parang training or?
Yes, training. So I was able to finish it, and I was able to pass the board exam for sleep technologist with flying colors, because there's no parang sabi ko pagkakataon ko na to eh. So pagkakataon ko na siya. Nung nakapasok na ako ron, I got nilak nila ako for contract, and I need to work at the I'm specialized only in kids, and I become more passionate about it. Yun yung nangyari.
Ano yung nagtulak sa iyo talaga na piliin ang respiratory na naging kurso mo, at ito ay na naging successful ka sa ganitong profession? Ito ba ay gusto ng parents mo na kumuha ka na RT?
No, actually I started as a physiotherapist. And then nakita ko na parang nung during ng college, I decided na masyadong competitive ang physiotherapist. So I switched to respiratory therapist. So pagdating naman natin sa Canada, I was able to practice that, and yun nga parang I got really bored kasi alam mo yung patient care, nasa bedside kayo palagi, then you're taking care of patient like really sick patient. And sabi ko sa sarili ko na I don't wanna be like this forever. Kasi nga sobrang ambisyoso nga ako eh. So nakikita ko yung mga ang doctor, they're gonna do their job, and let's say they operated like 8 patients in a day, and they make big bucks, right? So it's not about the money, but I think that nung nag-started ako na maging specialized sa sleep, I've seen the niche market. Nakita ko na hindi masyadong hindi masyadong untapped market siya.
So ano yung pinakamalaking hamon o karanasan na bilang RT practitioner na alam mo, medical field? Iba yung natin dito sa Pilipinas at saka Canada. So yes, so basically ang nangyari dyan is nagtrabaho ko ngayon after I finish my respiratory therapy program. Yun nga, nabigyan ako ng pagkakataon na makapag-work sa sleep industry. And nakita ko talaga na because hindi masyadong nagagawa yung mga follow-up program, hindi masyadong na-execute. Kasi ang importante talaga, you need to be you need to be passionate about patient care. Right? So ang ginawa ko is basically I started my own clinic. Okay. Hindi ba mahirap sa iyo, Sir Chris, yung pagbabago ng kultura? Siyempre tayo Pilipino. Ano ba yung mga pinagdaanan mo doon na challenges bilang Pilipino na nagtayo ka ng ganong klaseng negosyo? So
I was very competitive, I must admit. Like lagi kong iniisip na I can do this, I can do this, right? Like ako yung risk taker kasi ko eh. So I met someone at the hospital, and sabi ko sa kanya, let's start a business together. So nag-start kami ng business together.
So partner mo ito?
Oo. There's a lot of challenges talaga. Sobrang daming challenges. And in fact, di ba, running a sleep clinic, magtatrabaho ko rin sa permanent job ko ng 7 to 7 p.m. till 7 in the morning. And then I showed up in the clinic at 9.
So pinagsabay mo siya. Hindi mo inumpisahan yung business na talagang nakatutok ka. So pinagsabay mo yung trabaho mo at saka yung business mo.
Yes. So kasi I need to generate income pa rin eh. The business, as you guys know, that business is like is unstable kasi yan eh.
Correct.
So, and we took a loan from the bank. And kailangan bayaran yon. So I keep my nighttime job full-time for like couple of 3-4 years. And then I'm working at the clinic 9 to 5. And then, after 6 months, you know, I think yung being consistent, hard work, nag-paid off kaagad siya eh. And then we were rescaled this business from 0 employee to 120 employees.
In Canada lang
In
ito?
Canada.
Oh.
And I was basically, even in Canada, I'm the first Filipino, even if you can Google it, I'm the first Filipino that I was able to put like the first Filipino-owned medical facility na dun sa Canada. And basically, ang ginawa natin, lahat ng Filipino doctors, mga Filipino nurses, we house them in one medical facility. And yun, yung naging success natin sa Canada.
Hindi ka ba natakot or ano ba yung mga iniisip mo noon na, of course, hindi to biro, na naging co-founder ka ng Dynamic Sleep and Respiratory Care sa Alberta ito, no?
Alberta, yes. Oo. You know, at first, medyo, of course, like sabi ko nga sa'yo, there's always a risk. But, you know...
lalo na sa ibang bansa.
Yeah. And yung bank naman, they trust us so much talaga. Pinagkatiwalaan kami ng bangko and basically I was able to put like, I think, 6 different clinics across the country. And meron din tayong pharmacy, nagkaroon tayo ng medical specialty clinic. So parang lumobo na yung business.
So, nung lumaki yung negosyo mo sa Canada, ikaw ba ay nagtatrabaho pa or binitawan mo na at nag-full ano ka na?
Nag-full na ako. Full-time na ako. So, my role in the company is a director of marketing. I manage all the marketing and how to bring patient on the facility. And it was really, really successful until the pandemic started.
So, nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, yung negosyo mo ay medyo hindi rin naging maganda yung takbo.
Hindi lang medyo naging magandang takbo, kundi talagang we went down.
Nagsara kayo?
Yes. So, you know, dumating sa point na nagkaroon na depress ako. Kasi nagsarado yung business is March 2020. And then, naisip ko nga na I think, you know, hindi naman tayo pinanganak na mayaman. So, what I did is basically, I packed my bag and I moved here. So, nag-move ako sa Pilipinas. And then sabi ko na, I'm gonna bring the technology or the things that I've learned in North America in terms of like clinical, operational sales and marketing. And then I still remember that when we first launched it, like the digital marketing of the e-commerce for telemedicine, May, Kuya Gani talaga, na-surprise din ako kasi May, nagkaroon kami ng
ito,
sales.
2020?
2020.
Oh, ito yung kasagsagan ng pandemic.
And we are the only companies like sa sleep industry, talagang yung rescale namin sobrang bilis talaga. Nagulat din ako talaga sa yung respond ng ating mga kababayan. So non-stop talaga, day and night, ang campaign natin. We even go to the hospital and help people with COVID kasi yung breathing apparatus that time need nila eh. Diba? So sinamantala ko yun. And sinamantala rin natin yung, alam mo, one thing that I've learned, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Right? Kasi yung experience ko from Canada, ang ginawa ko lang is ni-replicate ko lang dito. So pagka-replicate ko rito, lahat ng na-loss ko ron sa Canada, right? I was able to 10x here in the Philippines for about 3 years. Wow. So Philippine market gave me another opportunity. That's why, you know, hindi na ako nung binigyan ako ng pagkakataon dito, hindi na ako bumalik doon as a negosyante.
So, dito sa Pilipinas, bago ka magnegosyo, syempre, parang rebound mo yun eh. Ikaw ba, may pera ka pa pang start o nag-loan ka rin dito sa Pilipinas?
Actually, wala naman masyadong, ang ginawa natin doon is may na-save tayo na konti. Right? Then basically, we started really small. So, yung really small natin is about 28 square meters sa clinic. I did the same thing. I sleep in the clinic. We take a shower in the clinic. Yung brother ko naliligo lang din sa clinic. Ang clinic namin may bidet lang, doon kami naliligo. 'Di ba? So talagang nag-start uli kami from scratch. And then we rescale it, right? So lahat ng nakita ko na mali nung before when I was started the business, right? Kasi dati I don't focus in accounting. I don't even know about the accounting and finance, legal department. We don't have that before. And dun ko natutunan lahat na I need to experience all the department in the company. And then ako mismo I was able to sit down with my accountant, like crunching the numbers day and night. Kung makakasurvive ba tayo. Yung mga yung mga legalities, I always talk to the accountant instead of spending time sa mga clubs or like, hanging out with friends. Ngayon na lang ako lumabas eh. Kasi ngayon ko lang na-feel na, okay, kaya ko na pala. Right?
Naging stable na.
But before, like, I super value my time. I hang out with people that's just gonna help me. I hang out with doctors kasi yan ang number one na clients natin. So yun, nung naikutan ko lahat ng department na yan, I'm confident enough on how to rescale the business. And, with the, I'm not saying na walang risk eh. May risk talaga yan eh. But ngayon is, what do you call that? Like, minimal risk na lang. Oo.
Alam mo, ngayon, Sir Chris, yung teknolohiya mahalaga sa isang negosyo. Paano ba napapanatili ni Sir Chris na updated din kayo sa teknolohiya o mga bagong kaalaman habang pinapatakbo mo itong negosyo mo na naiiba ito na ibang klase itong negosyo?
So, good question. Kasi in any industry naman, dapat naging ka talaga dyan, competitive. And dapat innovator ka rin. And you need to adapt in the technology. Kasi kung hindi, mapag-iiwanan ka. So, ang ginagawa ko kay Gani is I normally go to a conference. Like, and kung ano yung matututunan natin sa abroad, matutunan ko sa Amerika, ako yung first na nagdadala rito sa Pilipinas. Okay? And I believe in automation, right?
Correct.
Ano rin tayo dyan. And tayo rin yung first time din na tayo dito sa first ang Global Sleep Care na nagkaroon ng EMR. So, Electronic Medical Record. From the very beginning, paperless na kami.
Okay.
So, hindi na kami gumagamit ng papers para sa mga charting ng pasyente. And we're using the technology enable for us to reach out the patient. Imaginein mo, before face-to-face, di ba? Kami sa Global Sleep Care, we are the one that who's basically giving patient education, treatment, diagnostic through telemedicine. So
paano nyo ginagawa yung telemedicine?
So, for example, the patient inquired to us, right, that they're having a problem with sleep. So, kami naman, one of our sleep technologists or respiratory therapist will call the patient to do the proper assessment on the phone. And then after that, if the patient needs to have a sleep study, we need to set them up with our sleep physician through telemedicine. So basically the telemedicine is going to be doing the consult, right? After the consult, we send the device to the patient house.
Okay.
And then we gave them instruction how to use the diagnostic procedure. And after that, if the patient needs treatment, we send the treatment to their house. Right? And that's what we're using it. Like basically like more on tawag dito, telemedicine.
Correct.
Pero kasi nag-ease off na yung ating yung mga during COVID times, di ba? Ngayon 50%, I would say 60% are face-to-face, 40% still telemedicine.
Sir Chris, ano yung pinaka-hamon or mga challenges na naging kaso ninyo or mga karanasan sa mga pasyente na lalong nagpatibay yung dedication sa ganitong klaseng negosyo?
Okay, this business has a lot of liabilities kasi you're talking about people's lives, right? I think, yun nga people are asking me like about the franchising, about the business, right? And I talk to a lot of physicians and I'm working with them. The thing is that this is a very special, niche. Like yung may niche lang talaga tayo. So kung hindi mapa-follow up yung pasyente natin, kasi yung pasyente normally pupunta sa amin, either mild lang yung symptoms or minsan naman talagang sobrang complicated na. Na once we diagnose them, they cannot live without the machine, right? So basically dependent sila sa machine. Ngayon kung hindi sila na-follow up, right? Kung hindi sila na-follow up, the tendency is the patient is not going to improve until the patient quality of life will decrease, meaning that they can die fast, right? So what I'm trying to say here is that we establish in the Philippines the guaranteed sleep program. It's like a lifetime follow-up care na talagang we're pushing it really hard to make it happen. Meaning that once the patient bought the machine from us, lifetime na sila naka-enrolled sa atin. And kami lang gumagawa nun. Wala talaga makakabit nun. Kasi I'm very tawag dito, OCD pagdating sa patient care. So yun lang. Yun lang lagi kong pineflex sa mga kababayan natin na pagdating talaga sa patient care, we're the champion.
Okay.
No one can beat us. Parang pagiging tawag ito, obsessive-compulsive pagdating sa customer service. Obsessed kasi kami sa customer service.
Nire-research ko yung mga machine na ginagamit nyo, Sir Chris, ay talagang mga state-of-the-art na mga machine. Ito ba ay, anong klaseng technology ito, Sir Chris? At gusto ko rin itanong yung pagiging, paano nyo nababalanse yung pagiging health professional at sa negosyo nyo. Ngayon, kanina kinuwento mo na talagang ngayon ka lang nakakalabas. Pero bago mo sagutin yan, magbo-break muna tayo. Huwag po kayo alis, magbabalik po ang Kabuhayan at Negosyo. Nandito pa rin po kami ni Sir Chris sa Kabuhayan at Negosyo. Kanina, Sir Chris, tinanong ko sa iyo kasi tinitingnan ko, nire-research ko itong machine mo. Ano bang teknolohiya itong machine na ginagamit mo? At ikaw ngayon ang number 1 sa market share sa ganitong negosyo. Baka pwede mong ikwento sa mga tagapanood natin para ma-educate natin sila, Sir Chris.
So basically, ang ano natin, Sir Gani, is we assess the patient kung qualified ba sila mag-sleep test. So, sino ba yung mga pasyente na to? Yung pasyente natin naghihilik, laging pagod sa umaga, tawag dito, meron silang hypertension, may diabetes.
Ano yung mga problemado na hindi makatulog? Yung mga sobra yung stress? Pwede rin?
Yes. So, basically, yun yung mga, meron tayong patient education din. So, we educate those patients. Basta may problema ka sa pagtulog. Stress ka sa gabi, lagi kang pagising-gising ka sa gabi, paggising mo sa umaga, hindi ka refreshed, masakit ang ulo mo. So, yun yung mga symptoms na ina-assess namin. Then, after the symptoms, di ba, i-assess natin for diagnostic. So, yung diagnostic na yun, Sir Gani, is machine din siya. Coming from Australia and Germany. And sometimes meron din sa China. So,
pero exclusive ka dito sa mga machine na to? Or hindi
meron kaming exclusivity online.
Okay.
Oo. So yun, na-diagnose natin yung pasyente. And then if the patient, 90% ng sleep disorder is sleep apnea. Okay?
Ano yun?
Yung pagbabara ng lalamunan pag natutulog ka. So, ang tawag doon is obstructive sleep apnea. Ang obstructive sleep apnea, habang natutulog ka, yung airway mo is nagbabara. Either 50% ang closure or total closure yung airway. Ngayon, pag nagbabara ang lalamunan, ano ba mangyayari sa atin, di ba? You're gonna wake up because your brain will tell you, hey, gumising ka or mamamatay ka, di ba?
Correct.
Yung sinasabi nilang bangungot, di ba? So, it can lead to heart disease or heart attack. Right? If hindi ka na, kasi hindi consistent yung flow ng oxygen mo sa katawan. So ngayon, yung device na ginagamit natin na yun, called it CPAP machine. Continuous Positive Airway Pressure. Sayang, di tayo nakapagdala rito. But we can show some picture. So yung Continuous Positive Airway Pressure na yun yung machine na isinusuot sa gabi. Okay? The technology came from iba-ibang bansa. But ang number 1 is ResMed. Right? ResMed, and yung ResMed na yun came from Australia. The other one came from Germany, which is Lowenstein. Meron din tayo ng China. So, depende sa ano yung afford ng pasyente. Kasi we tailor fit based on what they need. Right? So, yung technology naman na yan is, of course, like state-of-the-art equipment, and yun yung binebenta natin sa pasyente ngayon. I think hindi na it's not about the sales It's about, ang napansin ko rito, if you're putting a lot of time in patient education, right, that you're really, really passionate about what you're doing, yung pera, nandyan lang yan
Totoo yan.
Hindi na nga, sabi ko nga sa mga friends, family ko na, it's not the money that motivates me, right? Ang motivating factor ko ngayon, ang dami ko natutulungan.
Correct.
Yung mga pasyente na natutulungan natin na hindi nila alam na may ganito palang solusyon sa mga problema nila sa pagtulog.
Nila sa pagtulog.
So yun yung parang reward ko na kasi sabi ko nga, lahat ng nakakausap ko na patient, for example, if I did a consult, 90% of that patient will buy. I don't need to even tell them the price. And basically, they understand. As long as they understand the disease process, treatment process, and ano yung maitutulong sa kanila, beneficial dun sa health nila, a lot of them are buying.
So, ikaw sa ganitong negosyo mo, Sir Chris, ikaw ba'y nakikipag-partner din sa mga hospital? O paano yung business dynamic na ginagawa mo at paano yung marketing mo para sa kanina sinabi mo na hindi mo pa pinag-isipan yung paano mag-franchise? Paano yung gusto makipag-partner naman sa'yo?
So meron naman tayong mga partner sa hospital, meron tayong mga referring hospital. So for example, hospitals want to partner with us. Yes, we provide them the services. And then yun, meron naman tayong mga prepared na joint venture na mga ganyan. So yun, sa franchise kasi, we're still thinking about the franchise because it's gonna be hard to track the patient. Especially for example, dumami yung pasyente and wala talagang nagki-care call sa kanila, wala talagang nagmo-monitor sa kanila. It's gonna be the risk of us kasi kami yung license eh. Ngayon, pag yung pasyente, so for example, the patient na hopefully hindi naman mangyari, may namatay na pasyente, of course, my license is gonna be on, in front of these issues, right? So, we utilize the e-commerce. So, websites, doon kami malakas.
Okay.
So, digital marketing and basically, nagpo-focus talaga kami sa website and that's what we're getting our patient. And when the patient called us, we educate the patient, based dun sa kanila nararamdaman.
So, dati ay hands-on ka rin dito sa negosyo mo at ikaw ba ngayon nag-concentrate ka sa pamamahala na lang sa negosyo mo, hindi ka na hands-on sa mga clinic mo?
No, I love to do patient education and education to my staff, doctors. So ako yung nagbibigay ako ng mga trainings, what I've learned from abroad. Once in a while, gusto ko rin nakaka-encounter, nag-i-interact sa mga patient natin. Pero most of the time kasi meron naman na tayong, the difference between Canada and Philippines, sa Philippines you can hire people. You can hire CFO, you can hire COO, you can hire CEO. Right? In Canada, because of the high cost of operation, so gawa mo lahat.
Correct.
So dito sa Pilipinas, ang dami talagang tulong. So yun, I was able to rescale it fast because I was able to hire right people to help me to do the expansion. I was asked like last conference, are you able to take a vacation and the business still run? I think may point na ganon. Kaya ko mag-take ng vacation but I don't like it. I still want to, I'm always on my phone monitoring the progress. Kasi things that I'm always checking every day, like clinical side, operation, sales and marketing. Yun lagi yung reports. I like to read reports.
Sa mga katulad ninyo ng mga successful entrepreneur, Sir Chris, talagang kahangang. Ano yung prinsipyo mo sa pamumuno at bilang founder ng isang napaka-successful na business sa pamamahala sa mga staff mo at operation? Paano yung style ni Sir Chris?
Okay, yeah, good question. Kasi this is very, I think very important to. No? What I've seen is the typical management is that there's a leader and basically the leader give command, right? Binaliktad namin siya. We call it stewardship model. So stewardship model, basically, ang empleyado, they're the bosses. Sila yung nag-execute ng operation eh. So kami mga leader, nasa baba kami. So lahat ng mga problema ng empleyado, for example, we deal it right away. And we give them autonomy to make a decision, accountability. Napaka-importante niyan. So if you trust your people, basically, there's a snowball effect, right? So nakikita ko kasi na if you're giving them the opportunity to unleash their potential, they can perform more than you. So that's why I hired a lot of people that mas matalino sa akin. Kasi sabi ko nga, wala naman akong background sa accounting, wala rin akong background sa legal. But I was able to learn that, right? Through along the way. So, yun, ang ginagawa ko is I hired people na talented, na mas matalino sa akin.
Paano mo, Sir Chris, tinitsak ang kalidad ng serbisyo at pangangalaga ng pasyente sa iba't ibang location? So paano mo talaga sinisiguro na yung feedback ng mga naging client mo ay, alam mo naman, napaka-importante yun, yung word of mouth, pwedeng siraan ka or i-recommenda ka. So paano mo yun sinisigurado na maganda talaga yung naibibigay mo na serbisyo sa mga nagiging client mo?
Okay, so with regards to sa quality assurance, talking about quality assurance, meron kaming kinakandak na audit monthly. So yung audit monthly na to is we make sure that all the patient is being checked individually to make sure that we meet the highest care standard based on sa clinical practice. So ang ginagawa natin, ino-audit natin isa-isa'y pasyente. Kung nakaka-receive ba sila ng, kung kompleto ba yung documentation, they receive the, what we promise. Kasi I hate promise if under-delivered, no? So before pa lang the patient will, ito na lang, we over-deliver.
Okay.
Right? So, I don't like promises, pero sinasabi namin na this is what you expect. And basically, what we're doing is that we over-deliver our care to our patient to make sure that the patient is gonna be looked after. Kasi yan ang importante eh. Hindi ko kasi kino-consider to as tawag dito, only sales, right? It needs to have like a patient care. Parang sa ospital, di ba? You get the treatment, then you pay them. So, similar with us. We're only gonna get paid if the patient receive the proper treatment. Yun lang.
Tama-tama yan. At sa pagbabalik natin, Sir Chris, ay pag-usapan naman natin yung mga marketing strategy mo para maingganyo natin yung mga ibang negosyante dyan na gusto rin na maging successful katulad ninyo. Huwag po kayo alis mga kanegosyo. Magbabalik po ang Kabuhayan at Negosyo. Nandito pa rin po kami ni Sir Chris sa Kabuhayan at Negosyo. Sir Chris, kanina tinatanong ko, ano yung mga, hindi na siguro secret, yung mga strategy mo sa marketing. Napaka-importante yan sa negosyo. At in a span of 3 years ay talagang ano ka na, napaka-sikat
6 years na ngayon, yeah.
Kilalang-kilala ka na ngayon dito sa ganitong industry. Sa tingin ko ay hindi na ito niche market. So malaki na ito. Malaki na itong ginagalawan mo na industriya, Sir Chris.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So ako kasi I love to teach, right? Actually, even my competition consult with me. So may mga competition tayo sa Canada, sa Asia, dito sa Asia. And also I work as a consultant. So I teach them how to I teach them on how they can streamline the process of the sleep clinic. I even signed with the NDA, for example. Meron tayong client sa Singapore that I help to streamline their process. So I teach them how they can get their patient. So kami kasi, it's more about, kami sa digital world kami. So we're utilizing mostly like yung Google natin and also like websites. And not only that, meron din akong team na lumalabas sa mga doctors natin. Kasi this is like a relationship selling. So meaning that you need to make sure that yung mga prescribing physician natin are well looked after. Titingnan natin kung ano yung mga gusto nila, ano ba yung mga gusto nila para sa pasyente nila. And then we tailor fit based on what they need. So it's more on the relationship with the sleep doctor. And not only that, like providing providing patient care through the website kahit na hindi tayo nakikita sa clinic, at least yung pasyente natin, once they inquire the website, we entertain them and we tell them about what's happening. Yun. Big kasi kami talaga ng education.
So, paano mo hinaharap, Sir Chris, yung local competition, international competition, at gaano ito kahalaga sa networking, sa paglago ng iyong negosyo?
Actually, yun nga sabi ko, no? I only check what the competition can do, and I don't treat them as a competition, to be honest eh. Actually, minsan nga pag nasa-short kami ng machine, we always we're asking them to bumibili rin kami ng machine sa kanila. So tulungan talaga. So kasi there's a huge market, right? This sleep disorder based on the World Health Organization, 1 out of 4 is suffering from a sleep disorder like sleep apnea. So how can you accommodate that if you only have like 5 clinics here in the Philippines, right? So we have 128 people, right? In Canada, for example, dun sa city na where I worked before, where I had the sleep clinic, we only have 4 million people. How many sleep clinic? Almost 100, right? So hindi talaga namin ma-accommodate yung volume. The reason why is that kulang ang ating doctors, right? Kaya hindi rin natin siya ma-accommodate ng ganong karami. So yeah, people are going with us kasi we are knowledgeable, we know what to do, and lahat nga ng yun siguro yung advantage natin, lahat ng mga technician natin is basically pinapatrain ko sila abroad.
Okay.
Hindi sila locally trained. So what I adapted in abroad, I teach them, and I send them to basically educated abroad para pag dinala yung technology sa Pilipinas, we basically excel on the standard of care in terms of sleep.
Kanina sa case, ibinahagi mo sa ating mga tagapanood yung pagkabigo ng negosyo mo sa Canada at sana naman hindi mangyari ito sa Pilipinas kasi ngayon nakikita ko naman talagang mabilis at yung market share mo rito talagang ikaw yung number one. Baka naman may mga tip ka kung paano mo nalampasan or of course yung mga challenges. Ano ba yung coping mechanism ni Sir Chris para hindi mo masyadong paano mo ito nalalampasan yung mga kabiguan mo sa negosyo or anumang bagay?
I was young back then, Kuya Gani, when I started the business. I think ang age ko lang noon is about, if I remember, I'm 28. And then the first million, we're talking about dollars here, right? And gusto ko lang inspire. The first $1 million that landed in our bank account is the age of 30. 30. Nasa Canada ako noon. And then, of course, I don't have any business background, I know how to take care of the patient. So, the good thing is meron tayong mga accountant, meron tayong accountant on board, meron tayong lawyer on board. So, ang nangyari sa akin is hindi ako nag-focus sa investment. Right? So what I did, if I make money, I spend. Right? Yung typical na noon lang nakaranas ng pera. So I don't save. Meron lang ako, I have fancy cars, right? Maganda yung bahay namin. We travel every couple of months, right? So talagang in-enjoy ko. And then nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, hindi ko alam, wala pala kaming savings.
Oh.
Wala pala, ang bahay ko pala alam mo yun, iisa lang pala yung bahay ko na muntik pang makuha ng bangko.
Okay.
Diba? So I realized na, oh my God, ang laki ng pera before saan napunta. Diba? So I changed my mindset. So basically, I practice being frugal. Frugal lifestyle. Right? Bare minimum lang. So when I moved to Philippines, I started to become, hindi naman cheap kasi hindi ako cheap. But I started to value the money, to respect the money. Right? So ang ginawa ko, every time I make money, either I reinvest it to the business or I buy a real estate. So ngayon, sa Pilipinas, I was able to accumulate a good sum of real estate because of the business. So ngayon, going to your question na anong may advice ko, don't put your money in one pot. Right? So what I did, I diversified it to different businesses. So meron tayong consulting businesses, meron tayong main sleep natin, yung sleep business, and I have also like a rental.
Passive income naman to.
Passive income naman.
Oo.
So yun ngayon, doon ako nagko-focus ngayon sa passive income. I want to build the real estate portfolio and basically it pays for pretty much everything. And I didn't change my lifestyle. Yun, hindi talaga ako, hindi ko binago yung yung lifestyle ko. I remain frugal and I only buy things that I need. Right? Yung mga wants natin, isinet aside ko muna yan.
Hindi na yung lifestyle mo sa Canada.
Hindi na.
Lagi ka naglalakwatsa.
Oo. Tinanggal na natin yon. And basically, I teach the same way with my kids, right? That, basically buy the things that you need. Yung mga wants ninyo, think about it first before you even buy something that, about wants. Correct. So they adapted that, which is really good, right? Kasi nakita nila
napakagandang advice yan sa mga kanegosyo natin. Sir Chris, ano ba yung mga bagong teknolohiya o trends sa sleep care na pinakagigiliwan ngayon sa industry?
So ngayon is pag naghihilik ka, 'di ba? Number one signs and symptoms siya ng sleep apnea. So ang meron tayo rito yung mga travel machine, na CPAP machine that you can bring it for travel. Meron tayong sobrang tahimik na galing Germany, galing ng Australia. So we can basically flash that probably yung mga picture, we can send you pictures about it. And ngayon, basically we are the first in the industry that will bring the new it's not new technology, matagal na siyang technology, it's alternative treatment. Pero ito is dental oral appliance. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na siya machine, isusuot mo na lang siya parang denture. And this will treat your OSA, obstructive sleep apnea.
Ano ba yung forecast mo nakikita, Sir Chris, na kinabukasan ng sleep medicine industry sa Pilipinas?
Sleep is very big, right? It's actually half of our life, di ba? Natutulog tayo. Kaya ngayon, kung may problema ka sa pagtulog, di ba? Talagang you're gonna need to get check And sabi ko nga, 1 out of 4 ang population ng adult is suffering from sleep disorder. So it's a $400 billion industry across the world. And dito sa Asia is nasa $40 billion industry to.
Wow.
Yeah. So malaki talaga kasi everyone needs it, right? Like lahat naman tayo natutulog. Yun nga lang ang question doon, quality ba or hindi, di ba? So yun.
Paano mo tinitingnan itong na-establish mo na business empire, Sir Chris, sa like in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years?
I think the business industry is continues to grow once again kasi hindi pa natin natatap ang 1% ng market dito sa Pilipinas. So it's every year it's getting bigger. Like the reason why we know that malakas talaga tayo the reason why we know that that we're number 1 in the Philippines because we know how many machines are being sold in the Philippines. Nung pumasok kami rito, 700 machine lang across the country. Okay? And now, we're ranging about 4,000 units of CPAP machine every year. And 60 to 70% of those is sa amin, captured namin. Yung
kulang na kulang talaga yung kwentuhan natin, Sir Chris, at dapat may part 2 ito, no? At baka mayroon kang parting words sa mga kanegosyo natin, mga ka-intrip, at siguro iano mo na rin yung mga contact details nyo kung paano nila kayo ma-engage or baka open ka pa na magkaroon ka ng mga ka-joint venture like in Visayas and Mindanao. Your parting words, Sir Chris.
Thank you so much once again for having me here at Kabuhayan Negosyo. For those people that, yung mga aspiring business people, right? Like me, I'm super ambitious, sinabi ko nga sa'yo, Kuya Gani. I started with nothing. And basically, I started this business with my sweat and blood, sabi ko nga. Kasi talagang day and night, consistent hard work. There's no magic eh. Right? As long as you're passionate about one thing, focus in one thing, really, really hard, and you're gonna excel. Kasi parang, I don't believe in multiple stream of income, yung mga businesses na high-performing business and then you have like 10 of them. Kasi parang nadi-divide yung, you're spreading yourself too thin. So, in this, if you're really good in one thing, I think you need to do that in a form that, you focus and basically you're gonna excel on that, on that skills, right? So, sa mga negosyante dyan, there's always a failure. But, wag kayong mag-give up. Yun lang. Because I never give up. It's not my thing. Right? Kung mahirap, I just basically take some rest and then go back again. If things aren't going in your way, you need to allow yourself to make a decision really fast to pivot your operation. Right? Kasi yun ang nangyari sa amin. Kailangan talaga na mabilis ka mag-act dun sa market. So, for those people naman na looking for partnership or joint venture, we're open. Wala naman akong tinatanggihan. We need to discuss it in an open table and we'll see if something that we can work on together. Katulad yung mga hospitals nga natin, di ba? They're partnering with us because we can provide them the equipment. So we have the equipment, we can do the partnership and as long as we're gonna teach you on how to do it, and once you have the patient panel, then, that's something that we can discuss openly with our future partners. Kasi sabi ko nga, ang laki ng industry na to para hindi siya, para isa or dalawang company lang yung mag-accommodate sa kanila. So yun lang. And in terms of our services, I think i-flash na lang natin dito.
Opo.
Once again, my name is Chris Lumbides. I'm a founder of Global Sleep Group. Global Sleep Group is a group of companies that were located in, we have one in Cebu, Visayas, that we're basically catering the Visayas and Mindanao region. We have main office natin is Makati. We have BGC, yung kaka-open lang. Itong BGC natin, patient can sleep dun sa mismong clinic, right? So if they don't want to sleep at their house, ang gusto nila yung hotel feeling, they can go to our BGC clinic. Meron din tayong Las Piñas, meron tayong satellite office sa Pampanga and Quezon City. And of course, meron tayo abroad sa Jakarta and still in Canada. So yan yung operation natin yan.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Sir Chris. Thank you so much. At napakaganda po ng marami tayong natutunan kay Sir Chris pagbabahagi ng kanyang mga kaalaman at inspirasyon sa lahat mga kanegosyo natin. Tunay na kahanga-hanga ang iyong dedikasyon na maghatid ng makabagong solusyon sa larangan ng sleep care at yung malasakit na makatulong sa mga kapwa Pilipino na umasenso sa negosyo at buhay. Sa ating pong mga manunood, naway na-inspire kayo ni Sir Chris na sundan ang kanyang mga pangarap, maging sa larangan ng medisina, negosyo o anumang adikain na magpapabuti sa inyong kinabukasan. Ako po si Gani Makatuman, nagpapasalamat at magpapaalam. Patuloy natin suportahan ng mga lokal na negosyo at kabuhayan upang mas maraming Pilipino ang makinabang at umunlad. Para po sa mga hindi nakapanood ng mga nakaraang episodes natin, maaari nyo pong balikan ang YouTube channel ko, Gani Makatuman, at Facebook page, Gani Makatuman, Kabuhayan at Negosyo.
Kabuhayan.
Huwag po natin kalimutan mag-like, subscribe, at of course, i-follow na rin natin sa mga, para sa mga bagong episodes at updates. We at Kabuhayan at Negosyo are one with the government and our commitment to help Filipino entrepreneurs improve their lives. Lagi po nating tatandaan, kahit anumang sakuna, kahit anumang problema, kayang-kaya natin ito. Maraming salamat po. Sir Chris, thank you. Galing-galing mo. Galing-galing mo. Galing.
Matagal ka na news.